Well, it's my great pleasure to be standing alongside one of the legends of harness racing and Bill Adams. Bill, great to be with you. We built up a bit of a friendship as we've got older in years, over the years. But I mean, your history here at the Kapunda Harness Racing Club, is this where it started for you as far as harness racing was concerned?
No, I really loved horses, but I was never really involved until such time as I became secretary.
Yeah, okay.
And after that, well, it just rolled on, and I've loved the game ever since. I watch a lot of it on Fox and all that sort of business, and follow Greg Sugars and
Do you remember what year you became secretary?
75.
1975. Okay.
April.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right, and that's where it started. And I mean, I've mentioned this before to you. You're known with Merv King was always with you most of those times. I mean, did he come in later on the scene? And I've stirred you up where we used to call you the Laurel and Hardy of harness racing. Where you used to entertain everyone. When did Merv come in onto the scene?
I'm glad you asked. What happened was when we started this project, we were into the building of it.
Yep.
And Merv had the local pub, the Sir
Okay.
John. And he was interested in trotting because he had horses and when he was at Port Augusta and what have you. And he took an interest in the club and very soon after joined it as a committee person and also as president. And I can well remember we were getting this thing underway and he said to me, by the way, he said, do you have a door coming out of the kitchen into the main area? I said, why? Well, he said, you haven't got one on the plan. So we soon fixed that.
Yeah.
But we had a wonderful relationship. We used to visit the pubs in Adelaide, many of them every day. How on earth we did, I don't know, but at any rate we did. And wherever we went, as I mentioned earlier, we've had members coming from everywhere. We had a member from Arizona.
Really?
And Texas.
Yeah. But I mean, you guys, and in particular, you were the promotion gurus of harness racing. You led the way. You opened up the eyes to everyone. I remember as a young man, you'd be doing things that other people wouldn't even think about doing.
Yes.
Well, what were some of the plans and strategies that you put in place?
Well, one of the things which was very successful, and I love to see it back in again now, we had this particular betting situation whereby we had someone like yourself or Phil Houston
Yep.
to select winners.
Yep.
And we sold up to $2,000 worth of $20 tickets. That comes to about 100 investors. And anyway, what we did, we had a board so that anyone came to the trots and weren't interested in betting or knew nothing about it, they'd buy a $20 ticket.
Yep.
And they knew before the race what the betting was because we did it either on the tote or on the bookies. And sometimes, well, really speaking, our success rate was very
Pretty
high.
good, yeah.
Oh, it was very good.
So the Punters Club was the equivalent to that, yeah.
That was the Punters Club.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of work, but, we had good support from people like yourself. And it was very, very popular.
Yeah, for sure.
That would be one thing to get people back onto the track again.
I was wondering how you coped because you became familiar with so many people and they'd be in the bar and then you'd have to go and have a drink with this bloke to say hello, have a drink with that. Did you get home safe all the time?
No. Today I wouldn't.
But you always were there for the people. I mean, you invited them along, you give them a free ticket, come to the Kapunda Trots, we'll see you there, and you'd always catch up with those people.
Yes, we entertained every winner after the race and all their owners. Sometimes there was 10 owners, and it was done in that little room underneath the main grandstand down here. And it was very, very popular.
Yeah.
It was a people's game.
Yep.
And it still is a people's game, but unfortunately it's not attended as it was and never will be the way things are at the moment.
Yeah.
You had to come to trots in those days, Jimmy. You either had a bet here, and the only other avenue was SB betting.
Yep.
So it's a different ball game today, but oh my God, they were good days.
Nothing stays the same. Now you mentioned that you in 75 you came here. So what was your term in Kapunda and what roles did you have?
I was secretary from 75 until I went to Kilmore in 86.
Yes.
And when I came back, I became president. And Steve Norman, he was my deputy.
Okay.
Yeah, so
And he's now the current president.
yeah, he's now the current president and doing a good job.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Look, it was hard work, as I said, but my word, we had a lot of fun.
A lot of fun, yeah.
It was a pleasure.
Yeah.
It wasn't a chore.
Yeah, you did the work, but you got the enjoyment out of seeing what the results were out of all that work, which was fantastic. Tell us about Kilmore and your term there, Bill.
I was approached by Frank, the president of Echuca, who had horses over here for one particular event. And he said, "You're going to apply for the Kilmore job." Well, I wasn't aware of the fact that the Kilmore job was on the go. So anyway, I gave it a bit of thought and talked it over with Joan, and I put a handwritten submission in, and I think there's about 90 odd people applied for the job, and I got it.
Yeah.
Tonight, Corson Terror to the outside. Maxi Man at the 150. Claimed by Guaranteed. Down the outside, Flaming Flutter. I'm Corson Terror with a big run. Maxi Man kicks strongly. Guaranteed in the middle, fights on. Guaranteed took the lead and Guaranteed won the cup. Guaranteed.
I knew quite a few of the committee because there was a Kilmore Cup prior to me getting there, whereby the bookies in South Australia had a special flight to Kilmore, and that was always full up. And I got to know the committee very well.
Okay.
And there's a bit of a story attached to this. When I was interviewed for the job, it was a job with the Trotting Club. It was also involved the Galloping Club. Two different committees run by one particular secretary or general manager, they call me.
Yeah.
And one particular person from the racing aspect said to me, "What are your social habits?" Well, I said, "I have an occasional drink," and about 3 of them fell off their chairs. They knew different.
More than occasional, you mean?
Anyway, I got the job, and I was only there a few weeks when the Cup was coming up.
Yep.
And it was hard work getting it off the ground, but my word, they were big meetings in those days.
Yeah.
It was the premier meeting in regional trotting in Australia. And now I got on very well with both committees, and I enjoyed it very much.
Yeah.
It's the coldest place on earth.
Really? Yeah.
As well as the twin brother to Ballarat, that's how cold it is. And I never knew cold like it. And I watched the first trials one morning, about 10:30, sitting up there behind the glass. My knees were knocking despite my long johns.
Yeah.
So I knew a little bit about cold weather after that. But it was a very, very enjoyable stay in Kilmore.
Did you have to do things differently at Kilmore to what you would have had to do at Kapunda? Is it a completely different area, different world?
Yes, I'll tell you what, it's a different world. We had mainly pensioners looking after our gates and getting a few bob for themselves.
Yep.
Unfortunately, when I went over there, I learned a bit about unions, because the theatrical union was a union controlling racecourse.
Okay.
Well, the first day I got there were more blue coats than there were customers. So I sacked half of them.
Yep.
Well, I never had so much trouble in my life. They threatened to stop the Cup and they threatened everything. But anyway, eventually I got away with it. I never sacked anybody after that. Yeah, that was a real experience, this union business. But anyway, we overcome that.
But you must have been proud that from 90 people trying to get that job, they picked Bill Adams.
Yes, well, I mean, that was a freak of nature probably. But then, I think the fact that I was known to quite a few of the committee because of these yearly visits over there to do the Cup, and that probably helped me.
Yeah, for sure. Now, your background, I mean, when you were here at Kapunda, I mean, weren't you working in the banking industry?
I left Kapunda High School when I was 15 and a half, and I joined the National Bank. I had 23 years to the day. The last 10 years I was a manager at Robertstown and Maitland, and the last 5 at Newgupta.
Yeah, yeah.
And after that, I became involved here. I was also secretary of the Gawler Racing Club whilst I had the Kapunda job.
Yep.
And lo and behold, I went to Gawler one night, and Harley Meyer from Kadina said, "Bill, we're in trouble, can you help me?" I said, "What's wrong?" He said, "Well, the secretary put this case on the table and said, that's it, and we've got a meeting coming up soon, we need someone. So on a temporary basis, would you take it on?" I think that temporary basis was 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
And it was hard work getting home after being entertained.
Yeah. At Kadina,
It's
yeah.
it's a long trip home. But anyway, I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed the Gawler Racing Club job. So, and I had a farm,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
so I was busy. I worked like a dog in those days.
Are you getting a chance to relax now, Bill?
Yes, since the farm fair was cancelled, and that's going to be the last one to be run. I've only on a couple of committees here. I'm on the Community Gallery Mural Committee, and I'm on the Select Committee for the Kidman. We're going to do something big in Kapunda for Kidman.
Yeah, right.
And that's my only involvement, so I might go back onto the Kapunda Business Alliance, which I founded.
Yeah, yeah, and you were Secretary Treasurer for that as well, weren't you? As a role with the Kapunda Business, what do they call it?
Alliance.
Alliance, that's it, yeah.
That was good. But it's struggling a bit at the moment, like everything else is in the way of getting members involved. But anyway, I'm happy to give that a shot now that I didn't realise how much this forest business affected people. I've been home, sitting on my bum, watching TV, which I detest, and I've never been idle in my life. That's why I've decided I'll offer my services to the business alliance.
Okay, yeah. Well, you've done a lot in your time, Bill. What's been some of your proudest moments?
Proudest moments, well, probably seeing this built and up and running.
Kapunda Harness Racing Club, yeah.
Oh yes, that was a wonderful achievement. Only achievable by the fact that we had good relationship with the racecourse board, and also all the bookies chipped in.
Yep.
You know, which a lot of people rubbish bookies, but they were very good to our club. And they all got paid back eventually.
Yeah.
And so that was one real great thing. And also just the fact that I've had such a great lot of enjoyment from it.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, that's
like you said before, it hasn't been a chore. You just
That's
thrived on the enjoyment that's come out of it. Yeah.
It was never, apart from when I went to Kilmore, it was never well paid, but that wasn't the main consideration. I like doing what I do.
Yeah. And that puts it in a nutshell. Bill Adams, you just loved doing what you did.
Correct.
Yeah.
And that's important.
One of the legends of harness racing, Bill Adams. He's been around, he's seen it all, and he's been instrumental in making things happen in harness racing. Bill, thank you very much for your time. Great to be with you once again.
Thank you very much, Jim.